Are you a fake alpha? Here's the test that no one told you about. Everyone loves to call themselves an alpha, but most of them are faking it. This is the test that no one talks about, and it has nothing to do with muscle, money, or dominance. It's about how you lead yourself when nobody is watching. In today's world, the online world that we all live in, the fake alpha is really easy to see. It's really easy to find the fake alpha, not just online, actually anywhere you go. They're usually the loudest one. They need to be the center of attention. They need to win every conversation. They need to win every battle. They're flexing like crazy. He's loud, he's aggressive, and constantly trying to prove something. Usually trying to prove that he's right. He needs attention because deep down inside, he's really afraid of being unseen. But a real man, a real alpha, doesn't need to be seen. He lives strong every day in silence. He's not chasing status, he's mastering self-control. Ask yourself these questions. Do you keep promises to yourself and to your loved ones? Do you keep promises to your kids? Or do you make promises and never live up to them? Do you control your emotions when things don't go your way? Do you show up for people who count on you, even when it is inconvenient for you to do so? Do you take care of your health, or do you just make excuses? Because that's the real test of an alpha. It's not how loud you talk. It's not being the center of attention. It's how you live every single day. It's interesting. I've been surrounded by alpha men my entire life. Being in the MMA world, being in the bodybuilding world, being in sports my whole life, there's always the wannabe alphas, the fake alphas. And you can, again, spot them from a mile away. I'm just going to use MMA as my example because that's where a lot of really tough men live. And I had the opportunity to work, in the UFC, get to be an editorial director for a magazine and wrote and got to go to a lot of UFC events and meet with a lot of the fighters and things. And what occurred to me was, without a doubt, and some of you might be a little bit younger, may not remember who George St. Pierre is, but if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, you probably recognize the name. He's one of the best fighters on the planet. George St. Pierre is a true alpha man. And it's interesting because when you would go to a gathering, he was never the loudest. He was never the tough guy. He was the friendliest guy, soft-spoken, always laughing, very pleasant to be around. And it was the same thing with some of the other toughest guys that I'd ever. Wanderlei Silva, what a great guy, nice guy. John Jones at the time too was young up-and-comer, very humble. Randy Couture, one of the most humble men, a real alpha man. You know who you've got to watch out for if you're in a room and you think that guy's the alpha, the guy that's being loud, the guy that's trying to take over all the conversations, the guy that needs to be seen. You know who the real alpha is? It's the guy sitting in the corner. It's the guy over there in silence. It's the guy that's just taking it in. I've known one of my best friends for many, many, many years. His name is Serge, and Serge was. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Very calm, great sense of humor, but an absolute killer. This is a guy that could absolutely, I would put him up against pretty much anyone. 4th, 5th degree black belt in Kyokushin karate. Just a monster, just an incredible guy, but a true alpha. A true alpha shows up for their kids. A true alpha doesn't need to be the loudest in the room, doesn't need to win every argument, doesn't need to win every conversation. A true alpha can admit when they're wrong. A true alpha takes care of his wife. A true alpha takes care of his children. A true alpha takes care of the people that he loves and he cares about. A true alpha takes care of themselves, but doesn't have to be the center of attention. That's what a true alpha is. You see, after 40, being an alpha man, it changes. At least it should. Some haven't figured that out yet. It's not about dominance. It's about direction. It's about raising your standards and staying steady, even when life throws you curveballs. And it will. You see, your strength isn't measured in loudness. It isn't measured in the wins. It's measured in your control, and it's measured in your controlled silence. It's measured in the quiet moments. The men who truly win at this stage of life, they're not trying to impress anyone. They're just trying to be the best they can possibly be. They're trying to be the best husband, the best spouse, the best father, the best human they could possibly be. They work on themselves constantly and consistently. That's what a true alpha is. They're not looking for the most friends. They're not looking for the most thumbs up. They're not looking for the most wins. They're not trying to win at all costs, even at the expense of their children or the ones that they love. These men, they're focused on leading with purpose, not ego. That's a true alpha man. If this message hits you, take it as your wake-up call. You don't need to prove you're an alpha. You should strive to become a man that you respect. That's the real test. If you're ready to grow through it, join the community, hit subscribe. Master your body, master your mind, master your life. I'll see you in the next one.